All right, good morning and welcome back. Today, or last time, we got to the point where we were actually able to upload stuff to Supabase. And then we ran into an error where when we're trying to show the next page, we're still implementing Amplify, which we shouldn't be doing. So now we need to fix that. And I think the next step is going to be to just clean out some of the stuff in the app and change it so that we're actually using Supabase. Just continue migrating to Supabase, and depending on where we get to today, I think it's maybe realistic to say that we could get to trying the function, like trying to create a function on Supabase that will match users together. I think that's realistic, but I'm not entirely sure. Okay, I'm trying to get my chair to go forward. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with like how quickly we're moving along with this stuff, because it actually seems to be pretty easy, which is good. And the thing now, I think, is that we need to remember all of the stuff that we built for Amplify. So we need to have a waitlist table where we actually add in people that are in the queue waiting to get connected in a phone call. And then we also have to have a function that actually matches these people or puts them in that waiting queue and selects people from it. I'm not really sure. I think we're going to just have to go and, or we're just going to have to start, I mean, and then see where we end up, I guess. So let's go back to the app and let's see, we're getting this error. Runtime, unhandled exception, plugin error, message auth plugin has not been added to Amplify. Recovery suggestion, blah, blah, blah. Okay. And that is in the call page. Okay. All right, so something that I'm noticing with Gemini is that Gemini doesn't have any memory. It seems like it just doesn't remember what you've said before very well, because it basically helped me, or I've already pasted in the main.dart file into this conversation. So within the conversation history, it should have my main.dart file, but now it says like, this is what you should make it look like. And we don't need that. So I'm going to see what happens if I say that, well, I have already pasted this into, or you've already seen that this should be in the conversation history. We'll say if it replies that, yes, I can see it or not. But I noticed this before too, with like an even earlier message or more recent message, which was about the user table, because it wanted us to create a user table, but it's like given me, I don't know how many times it's given me SQL to add or create a user table. So it seems like it writes a few messages and then it forgets what it said. So, which is really bad. Like when you're doing coding like this, that's just like super bad. It seems to be pretty good at like doing the stuff, like acute stuff, if that makes sense. So like if I say that, well, I need to create this table in Supabase, help me write the SQL, it can do that and it will do it pretty well. Although I think that's a fairly easy thing, I guess, now that I say it. But I do get the feeling that it's pretty good at what it's doing. It's just that the thing that it's lacking is the memory part. It doesn't remember what's happened before, and that kind of reduces it a lot. I feel like Grok and ChatGPT haven't been as good at the acute stuff, but they've got the memory, so they can kind of remember what's happened. So let's see if it remembers this. I think I've what? Okay, so maybe it doesn't, maybe I haven't shared the main.dart file. Well, let's share the main.dart file in case that helps. This is also a bit strange. Like sometimes it just decides in the middle of something that I'm just a language model, so I can't help you with that. I mean, what kind of response is that to this is my I mean, we've been talking now about certain things, and then I wrote back, this is my Supabase version 2.9, and we still have the same errors. And I just started replying, started creating the code here, and then it just stops, like it literally stops here. Like I can't go any further down than line 355. And we just get to this point, and it just stopped and said, well, actually, hang on. I'm just a language model, so I can't help you with that. It's like it's trying to be, I think that it has probably, since Google is like a way bigger company than like OpenAI and Grok and all that stuff, like they have, I think they have more. This is me like guessing out of my ass. I have no idea. Like, but I think that they have more pressure to not make mistakes. I think that ChatGPT sort of has a more free pass because the smaller company just doesn't affect as many people. Whereas Gemini, I think, integrates into Google now. It integrates into all kinds of services that they offer. And so if it makes a mistake and starts like saying, like giving me information about stuff that I really shouldn't be getting information about, then that's a really big issue. So I think that's what's happening here, is that they have stronger safety limitations on this to make sure that it doesn't slip up and accidentally give me like government info or something. Maybe. Or it's just a shittier model, but I don't believe that it's a shittier model. I think that Google are under way more restrictions than these other companies are. Because they're just a bigger company. And I think that's why we end up here. Usually that isn't an issue. I can just type in the question again and it will respond. But it's just a very weird artifact, I would say. This is my Supabase version. Still the same issue. I don't believe that the errors are caused by my environment. I believe that Gemini is wrong. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to double check this with Grok and see if Grok will help me out. Okay, so far it seems like Grok might be more up to date because it basically replied straight away that the errors you're encountering are due to changes in Supabase Flutter package API between versions. So specifically on broadcast property and real-time payload class have been updated or removed in newer versions of Supabase Flutter. Here's the corrected call page, blah, 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 that aligns with this, which is what I was suspecting. But what Gemini wanted me to do was basically go through, like clean out folders, do Flutter clean, cache clean, all kinds of things. And then this code that it provided should work. But that's not the case, I don't think. So I don't know that this is going to work from Grok, but I just trust it more because it seems like it straight away knew about things that was up to date and not up to date. And I didn't say anything about this being based on Supabase 2.0.0. I just said that I have 2.9.0. And now we have no errors. So that's interesting. So now main.dart sign up screen. We're going to go to homepage. And we're going to make sure that we have our pages here. Talk page. Okay, so talk page. Okay, so there is no page for matches. Okay, I don't really know what is going on now, but we did get an error. I think we're just not calling the function in the right way, but we have the function here and it's doing stuff. And we can check the matchmaker just to see logs. We don't have any logs for the matchmaker, which should make sense because we haven't gotten past the user state handler. Looking at the users table schema you most recently provided, you are indeed correct. It's missing the current call column, which you're step 5, update the user table schema. Okay, we're going to copy that. And we're going to go here. And we're going to do a new snippet. All right, this might have done something now. We've gotten past the errors, it seems like. So we're going to look at matchmaker to see if it was triggered. It hasn't been triggered, and I think that's because there aren't two people in the matchmaking queue. So we're going to go to, or the wait list. We're going to see here, do we have an entry? We don't have an entry. In the wait list. Okay, stop recording in the middle of the sentence there, but here goes nothing. I now basically use Gemini and Grok against each other. I'm using Gemini to kind of get the base thing going, and I don't even know if I need to do that. Maybe Grok is going to be better. I don't know. I might move back to Grok soon. We'll see. But it seems like Gemini can get some of the combination of Supabase and that going, which Grok might be able to do too. But anyway, I'm doing that, and then Gemini creates an error in Flutter with Supabase. So then I go to Grok and I say, Gemini messed this up. Can you fix it? And Grok just fixes it, paste it in, no errors. And the error was essentially that when I press start connection, it sends the clear state trigger or call to the backend side to Supabase. And that clears the user. So it says it to be online, available, and all the other things that we need to clear. But then the next part is we should also send the join matchmaking if we press this button, which is start connection. And that didn't happen. So now if we press this button, we should be sending a attempting to send clear state request sent. And we received an OK, but we also need to send the join matchmaking function. So we'll see if that actually was sent. I don't think it was, but okay, it wasn't sent. So for some reason, we're not sending that, but we're going to use Grok to fix this. These changes preserve all functionality, including the additional logging added by Gemini for clear state and join matchmaking. I'm actually just going to copy what I wrote to Gemini, and we're going to send the exact same message to Grok, and we'll see if Grok will pick up Gemini Slack. And this is also a thing, like you can't copy your own message in Gemini for some reason, which I don't understand why, but copy. I'm just sending the exact same message, see what ChatGPT comes up with. Based on your concern. Okay, it seems like we're still not sending the join matchmaking request, so we're going to paste the output. sometimes when I sit like this, I just think like, imagine how close we are right now. Like this is going to be a very short time in history, I think, where AI is just not quite good enough to just be able to do everything that you say perfectly straight away. But it's like, I don't know if we're months or maybe a year or 2 years, like 2 years from now, I couldn't imagine that I'll be sitting like this and sending messages to these AI things over and over about the same error and just like, try to fix it a different way. Try to do this because it didn't work. Try to do that because it didn't work. Now, all of this could obviously, the bottleneck to this is me as the human, because I will be making mistakes that I might paste it in the wrong file. I might do all kinds of weird things. But right now, they're also making mistakes themselves. So, but it's like we're so close to, I think we're so close to this being just like, literally tell it like, okay, this error came up, paste, like, tell me what to do, and it will just fix it. And it will be like, because I notice I'm so close to this being ultra fast. Like imagine that it's just writing all this stuff for me, but it's rewriting the pages over and over because I'm like, I've got this error, now I've got this error, now I've got this error. But imagine if it just like straight away spat out this perfect page and I didn't have to do anything. And I can't imagine that in 2 years that they won't have reached that point. Because I also think that I mean, a smart move would probably be to build a programming language combined with an AI chat agent thing. So basically you build like Google develops Flutter, for instance. That's the programming language to build like, or not the programming language, but the framework to build apps with. But imagine if you built your own framework for building apps that will run on Android, iOS, it will run on laptops, it will run on Chrome, it will run anywhere, TVs, all kinds of things. You develop that in unison with an LLM or whatever they call these things now. And then you train your LLM on all of this stuff. And then you also have like, you have the backend functionality implemented into that. Then you basically have a system. I mean, you have a programming language that's developed by the AI that the AI understands very well, like perfectly. And then you as a human don't even have to understand it at all. You can just tell it like, change the color here, do that, add this, do this, and it will just do all that for you. Like it's like very close to us being there, I think. Okay. I'm like doing multiple things at once. I don't even know what I'm saying at this point, but now we're going to run it, start the connection. I think something happened because we're searching. We ended up in this screen. So we sent the join matchmaking request. Clear state sent exception while invoking edge function join matchmaking. Error failed to update user. Internal server error. Okay. There might be a problem now with something, which I think could be that we error updating user for matchmaking failing. Row contains. No. What? All right, let's see. Do we have anyone in the wait table? Okay, there's no one in the wait list. That's a problem. But I think that's a problem on the back end, maybe. I also think that we're doing something here. It seems like we're basically we're almost looping through this. So As you can see here, state cleared, information received, and then we call join matchmaking, and then attempt join matchmaking request, invoke edge function, blah, blah, blah. That all seemed to work. Join matchmaking request sent from Flutter, and then edge function clear state. So we sent the clear state again, and then we sent, we're trying to do the edge function again. So it seems like we're basically clearing the state, which we should, then we're joining matchmaking. But then after we've sent that request, we go back and clear the state again, which we shouldn't do. So I think that's where the error is. But right now I'm going to have to go. But I mean, I feel like we're making progress faster than we were with. I feel like we're making faster progress with fewer errors and less headache than I was with Amplify. I don't know if that's because I'm more used to this now and I've gotten more efficient, or if it's because the AI models have gotten better. I don't know. But I do think it's because the SQL queries is just a life hack. It's just way easier because everyone understands, me included, how to do SQL queries. And the AI models, or I don't understand how to do Amplify queries to add things to the database there. And the AI models barely understand it either. So I think that's why it's way easier to debug. There's clearer logs for everything, every call that you make. It's just so much simpler, I feel like. So far, I'm really happy. We're close to being back to where we were when I decided to start migrating this to Supabase. We're close to being back exactly in the same place. And this is within like a week of me trying to do that. Which means that if I would have started out with Supabase, I might have been able to do a lot of this stuff within like a month, maybe. Either way, thank you for watching, and I hope I'll see you in the next one.